everybody doing? I just put over 500 miles, some 600 miles now on the OM606 BORG WARNER turbo swap. I decided to switch out the hybrid turbo for this BORG WARNER s257. If y'all can see the part number, that's the part number, and it's the S200 series, the XS series. I wanted to talk about everything that's needed to do this swap. So obviously you're going to need a different exhaust manifold or an adapter, but I highly recommend a different exhaust manifold. If you do decide to use the bend injection twin scroll exhaust manifold, you'll need 4 bolts and or studs to mount the turbo to the exhaust manifold, a T3 or T4 gasket depending on which turbo you use. I got a 5/8 barb, which basically fits the internal diameter of this OEM rubber piece, and I got a 10AN adapter. I then got a 10AN 45-degree swivel. I got Evil Energy Amazon Special 10AN braided line and another 45-degree 10AN fitting, so 2 45-degree 10AN fittings. I also picked up this 3-inch piece of stainless tube, which isn't ideal for an intake. You definitely want aluminum, but what was nice was that this bung was already welded. This is an M18 bung, so I then got a 10AN to M18 bung fitting from Colored Anodized Fittings, and that matches the turbo feed. It also just matches that little Allen bolt that I have. That's what I did for the PCV system. I also got a 3-inch Shorty K&N air filter, which isn't ideal, but it will get the car running. I also got a 3.5-inch to 3-inch rubber coupler because the compressor side is 3.5-inch, and these 2 T-clamps to match. So that was the air intake. Working our way down, we got the Grimspeed manual boost controller. This goes from the compressor upwards, and then it shoots out downwards to the external wastegate. The external wastegate I used was a TurboSmart 45mm. As far as modifications to connect to my intercooler, so I had already installed the Mishimoto J-line when I did the hybrid turbo, but the hybrid turbo uses the stock piping. So realistically, all I needed to connect was just the compressor side, and all I did was use a 2-inch rubber coupler at the end of the compressor, 2 T-clamps, 45-inch piece of aluminum right there. I got a 6-inch rubber coupler that follows that, a hump connector. What's nice about the hump ones, and I'll show you guys what the hump one looks like. This is a single hump one, but I got a multi-hump one down there, the blue guy. And that connected to the stock charge pipe, and all I did to the stock charge pipe was cut the tip. So that got me connected from the compressor to the intercooler. So we went over the PCV, the boost, the compressor, the air intake. For the exhaust, unfortunately I still cannot fabricate, so I had a 3-inch downpipe made, but I got the car running without the downpipe. Downpipe was custom made by an exhaust shop. They did a pretty good job just bending the single piece downwards while still clearing everything. But this is a 3-inch to 3.625, 3 and some quarters of something V-band. And the reason why I have that 3.625-inch V-band is because that's what the AGP turbo turbine housings use, which I have the 0.75 twin scroll AR divided housing. I have a 4AN for the oil feed. I have it wrapped in this nice thick rubber material, this rubber fiberglass material. And all I did was put some thread sealant, the liquid type, on the 1/4-inch NPT. What I had to do modification-wise was cut the charge pipe like I mentioned and add those pipes. I had to unbolt this auxiliary water pump and slide it up. So I slid it up to where this would no longer rub, and I marked where the bolts should bolt up to because there were no hole placements, and then I just drilled holes, and these are self-tapping screws. So once you drill a small enough hole and you can get the bolt started, the rest will just grab. And that took care of the auxiliary water pump. It still comes close to the turbine housing, so I got a just cheap max feeding rods turbo blanket for now. I'm gonna upgrade to a Funk one. And I then wrap the two auxiliary pump coolant lines with the fiberglass sleeve material. Sorry, yeah, this one does have the fiberglass underneath. It's the tape type, but it has a layer of fiberglass. Dumps to atmosphere. You can't really see the tip because of the angle, but it's basically angled towards the ground, and it's also braced. But there's a strap right there. I got the exhaust strap bolted up to the pan just to brace it, basically, and that's how far it comes down. There's the oil drain. I found this extended T3 to 12 AN drain, which served an amazing purpose because it clears not only the chassis side and the manifold, and have a cap, and the boost pipe is metal, and if that blows off, this could arc. So all I did was get a piece of rubber and put it on the end of the positive of the alternator. It's that little piece of red that's not focusing. This was a super fun project. It took me about a week total. I was working on it, chipping away at it, about an hour or two each day after work. It added quite a bit more power, yet it's still a little bit choked, but that's because of the injection pump. So without upgrading the injection pump, you basically can't even push past 300 horsepower, which I'm pretty sure the transmission, if it could speak, would be saying, thank you for sparing me at 400,000 miles. So I gotta come up with a solution for that, considering I'm still out here and the last thing I wanna do is a transmission swap outside. But yeah, that's everything I needed to do the BORG WARNER swap on the OM606 engine. I love the way the car turned out and I can't wait to drive it more. Going over some more things. We got all of our fittings here. Some Amazon special AN fittings. Shout out to Ben's Force. Mishimoto's. We got a long drain, we got a short drain. I like this long drain because it features an O-ring rather than a gasket. However, this drain was meant for the S300, and so not only are the bolts an issue, but the clearance might be an issue. I might have to modify the drain itself, or I might not be able to get the compressor clock the way I want to because the drain will actually hit one of these bolts. And so again, I could modify this, shave it down, but I have the correct drain. It's just the extended one is very nice. We got a 45, we got a 30, we got 3 straights. We have more than enough to adequately make a drain. We got some more fittings in here. And hardware. I went ahead and ordered up some extra hardware from Bell Metric, including some Allen heads, some nuts without the flanges, and then of course I have exhaust studs, the copper plated and zinc plated copper studs with the flanges. The reason why I ordered several variations is because some of these bolt holes get a little close, and I don't know where exactly the stud is going to protrude at. The nut might not sit flush. So if that's the case, I'll take the stud out, use an Allen head, an 8x30, I want to say, 30 millimeters, and or I'll use one of these copper-plated exhaust lock nuts without the flange. Clearance is an issue. Again, I could shave this down, shave down a bolt, shave down the head of a nut, but path of least resistance, that's what I'm going for here. NGP 0.75 divided twin scroll AR housing, and I hope I can still take advantage of the twin scroll technology. I mean, it's like the twin scroll manifold. I might as well try the twin scroll turbine. If it doesn't work out the way I want it to work out, I'm gonna cry a little bit, suck it up, get the 0.63 single scroll and call it a day. The hardware, got the wastegate, got the apartment special. Okay, so I'm at my workbench, and this is what we're currently working on. These go on the back of the compressor housing. I couldn't find them new anywhere. I found the bolts new, and the bolts have this little locking tab. So I'm going with new bolts because even though these ones just have some surface rust, I don't know. Cleaning up just the sealing side of the turbo. Originally, I was gonna take off all the rust on the cast cartridge, on the cast part of the cartridge, but I decided I kind of like the look. Cleaning the surfaces, all the mating surfaces, I'm doing my best to get squeaky clean while being extra cautious. Drain, feed, and up here is the compressor housing, which I just cleaned. Looks really nice in the light. Imagine right here the turbo out. Been a couple hours. And here's a little update in the engine bay. We got the exhaust manifold off, the hybrid turbo off. We got the downpipe off. Nice 3-inch V-band ready to be welded on, depending on where the outlet is. We did the 12 AN drain from Ven's Force. I just put a little plastic bag to cover up the hole. So all I did was clean the block area. In the past, I've scuffed it before. I cleaned the head the best I could with some brake cleaner and some acetone. Cleaned up the mating surface, and I'm using an M8 by 1.25 thread chaser to just go through all these holes and make sure the studs can thread in normally. You guys a quick update. You're supposed to torque them to 25 Newton meters. I got my torque wrench set at 25. I'm just hitting them all until they get the target torque going in a star pattern. Now to make my drain and my PCV tube, I really wanted to do it out of AN line. And so I don't have a shop space to work at. I got the oil drain done, so I had to cut the AN line a couple times. It was too long. I already did a test fitment. Everything fits well. I snugged up this AN line. I did have to shave it down. Is that a crack? It looks like a crack, but it's not a crack. Okay, good. It's just a mark. Make a long story short, the oil drain comes a little bit too closely to the stud. So I had to do something like this. This is a 12 AN extended drain. Anyways, the dimensions were close enough to where I felt safely running it. I already did a kind of a mock-up test, thingy, mabobber, majigger, and good enough. So it works. Show you guys later in a second. All right, here's first start.